What is up, guys? PetriFy here, and as you know, about a month ago I made a top 5 best assault rifle video, and a lot of people want me to make this SMG video about the top 5 best, and so I'm going to do that today. As always, if I help any of you guys, make sure you guys smash that like button down below, and if you guys like me to do a top 5 on a different class category, just let me know down below in the comments. Anyways, before we get into this, I want you guys to know my way of using submachine guns is different from usually how other people would use a SMG. Most people want to use it up close, but I'm somebody that likes to use submachine guns that allow me to do damage from range and also be able to rush around as well. Because you guys know my playstyle is very versatile, and I like to play from range and also be up close and personal. So this top 5 list is my personal favorite, so if you guys don't think the submachine gun is better for you, or if it's not good for you, just know that it's my personal opinion, and this list is more of my playstyle and my opinion based off my performance with these guns. Anyways, with that said, let's hop straight into the number 5 spot. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to the M3A1. I was very impressed by this gun. I definitely didn't like it the first time I used it on stream. I thought it was a terrible gun, but I gave it another chance. I made a video on it, and I really like it. It has a very slow fire rate of 450 rounds per second, which is absolutely slow. Probably almost one of the slowest shooting guns in the game, I'm pretty sure. I even think the Zip 22 shoots faster than that. Yeah. The damage is actually very powerful on this SMG. If you ever look at the stats, from about 50 studs out, it does 40 hits, or 40 damage per hit, which is absolutely insane. That means a 3 shot to the chest will kill somebody, or even a chest shot and a headshot will kill somebody. But it does drop off from quite a bit out, about 120 studs out. It drops down to 24 damage, which is usually a normal based damage on regular submachine guns from up close. Well, almost, anyways. Which is still really good, by the way. The reason why I really like this submachine gun is not for up close. I really don't think this SMG should be really used for super close quarter stuff. It does work out for you if you're not going against somebody that has like good reaction time, or somebody that's really high ranked player, because obviously they're going to outplay you because you have a slow fire rate gun and it just won't kill fast enough. But using this from further ranges against any type of player will definitely work out for you. That's why I really like the submachine gun overall, and I would love for you guys to try it out. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys class setups that I like to use with these guns whenever I do play with them. The listed attachments for the M2 or M3A1, I like to run a reflex sight and 2 lasers on it, and then go ahead and throw on a compensator. That's what I noticed to perform the best for me anyways. I rock a red and green laser, and then a compensator and reflex. It really works out well for me, so I'd love for you guys to try out the class setup if you have the gun unlocked. You unlock it at rank 71, by the way. I will say this gun is not for everybody, and it takes a while to get used to. I'm going to say that right now, especially if you're somebody who likes to rush a lot. You're going to notice that might get you killed a lot in this game while using this gun. Coming at the number 4 spot is the MP5SD. This gun actually got a huge buff, in my opinion, and it's really good now. I definitely recommend using this gun overall because it's pretty good. I mean, I never really used it beforehand, but ever since it got the new buff on it, it does more damage. It's pretty good now. So the base damage on this gun actually drops off drastically, but it's still really good overall. It has a fire rate of 800, which will output this damage a lot faster. But it's 30 from about 25-ish studs out. It does 34 damage, which is pretty strong. But it drops all the way down to 19 from about 105 studs or so. A 19 damage per shot is pretty weak. I'm going to tell you that right now. Coming at the number 4 spot is something you guys probably didn't expect, but the MP5SD. Now, recently this gun got a huge buff on it, and it's actually really good now. I don't know if they made any changes to it in the past, but last time I used it, it was actually pretty impressive, and I really enjoyed running around with it. Now, this submachine gun's made more for rushing. Like I said, I have different play styles. So some of these submachine guns might be for long, medium, and close quarters, and some might just be just for close quarters. And that what the MP5SD is, just for close quarters. So if you guys want a good suppressed weapon to rush around with, you can go ahead and use this gun. It has a rate of fire of 800, which is pretty good. Has 34 damage from about 15, 20, maybe 40 studs out. I can't really tell on this graph, but it does decent amount of damage from close quarters. 34 per hit. Then it drops all the way down to 19 damage from about 105 studs out, which is very, very bad. That's why you don't want to actually go for long range kills with this. and 100 studs actually isn't that far away in Roblox sense. So yeah, you might not want to use it from ranges. You still can, but you might be wasting too much ammo. I recommend just rushing straight up and trying to take out people because the rate of fire is pretty good and you kill people pretty quickly. My class up for this gun is actually throwing on an EOTech for the optic, the EOTech XPS2 to be exact. Green laser and vertical grip. That's what I usually rock on this gun, and it works out for me. I don't think this gun is definitely not for everybody, but if you learn how to use it, I think it'll actually benefit you a lot. And people might be surprised I chose this over the MP5, which also is another really good SMG. But I went ahead and chose the MP5 SD because I used it a lot more overall. Coming in at the number 3 spot is the L2A3. This is a new gun that you unlock at rank 53, which is decently high ranked, and I think most of you guys probably already have this already and at least used it. I made a video on this in the past, and it's actually a really good SMG overall. I love it personally, and it might be one of my favorites, but I'm putting this in number 3 spot because it might be one of my favorites, but it's one of my least used submachine guns. But it does 550 fire rate, which is pretty slow, but this makes it more of a better longer range gun, but it's still really good up close either way. It shoots fast enough to take out enemies a little bit faster, about 100 more rounds per second than the M2A or M3A1 did, which output more damage. This one outputs a decent amount of damage, but from further ranges than the MP5 SD did. So from about I would say 50 studs out, it does 36 damage per hit, which is really good. And then from about 100 studs out, it drops down all the 24 damage per hit, which is still better than the MP5 SD. And this makes this gun still usable from longer ranges, which is great. Ammo capacity on this is 34 instead of 30, so it has 4 more bullets. That's great. Who doesn't like 4 more bullets? But my favorite class setup on this is actually the same exact one I used in my video, which is the XPS2, the EOTech XPS2, red laser, vertical grip, and muzzle brake. I have experienced this class setup a lot, and I really, really do enjoy it. It's probably one of my favorite class setups, and like I said, this might be one of my favorite SMGs, just more of a weaker side, and one of my least used, even though it's my favorite. Recently, I've been using a lot of assault rifles, so not really playing around with too many SMGs, but the L2A3 is definitely one of my favorites overall. For this gun, you can use it from any base range, really. You can use it from longer ranges or even up close and personal. I recommend using it for medium range. That's where I found my sweet spot with it. It was perfect for medium ranges. I didn't really have any too many issues unless I ran into somebody with the Vector. Then they just outgunned me up close because they just have a better fire rate and they hit more shots faster. So, yeah. Coming at the number 2 spot is my pride and joy, dude. I use this gun for so long. It's the Vector. The Kris Vector, okay? I know I will probably never use this gun again. It's because there's a new meta with it that's absolutely... It's just broken, okay? There's a new meta with the Vector, and I do not want to showcase it to you guys ever, and I don't want to kill anybody in game with it because it's so broken, okay? And I'm not going to tell you guys the setup on it, so I'm going to go ahead and change my attachments real quick. Be right back. Anyways, I basically said that this gun got nerfed in the past, which it did, and I was very, very sad. And then somebody messaged me saying, "Hey, Pet, if you want your old Vector back, here, use these attachments." And it's my old Vector, but might be a little bit better. Just saying. Overall, it's still very good, and I do love the gun, but I don't want to use it without my main attachments that destroys everybody. Which I don't use it anymore because then everybody else started using the setup in the same lobby. So, yeah, enough people already know about the class setup overall. And I'm going to tell you right now, this gun is actually really, really good. And it's still unbeatable up close. It's still that up close gun. But what I loved about it so much is that it was super good from long ranges as well. Like I could shred people from so far away with little to no effort. It was great. I loved it. And that's what made me love the gun so much. And when they nerfed it, it made it a little bit harder to actually do long range with the Vector. Then I figured out a new class setup for it, and it worked out for me in the end. So you unlock this gun at rank 100, which is suspected. It's a Kris Vector, and it was a newer gun added in the past. And I have 2,900 kills with this, by the way. Yeah, I thought I had more than that, which I'm kind of sad that I don't have more than that. But the rate of fire is 1,200. It's up there with the fastest fire rate gun in the game. And then for damage wise, it's about the same as the L2A3 or the MP5SD. From about 40-ish studs out, maybe 60 studs out, it does 35 damage per hit. And it drops all the way down to 18 damage per hit from about 100 studs out. Big yikes. That was a nerf I was talking about. I believe it did like 20 something. And 2 damage makes a huge difference, I promise. Especially from range, it makes a huge difference. People don't realize that. Just adding 1 or taking away 2 damage, anything like that, does change a gun a lot, just saying. And I think it was more than 20 damage from that range beforehand. So, yeah, just keep that in mind. The ammo capacity in this is 25 rounds in a magazine, which is a little bit less than the normal, which is 30. You get auto, semi, and 2 bursts on this. 2 bursts is very useful from ranges, by the way. It will definitely help out a little bit. So let's go ahead and get into my class setup. I'm not going to tell you guys my meta class setup for it, but I will tell you my old setup for it, which is the reflex sight. The barrel is the compensator. The grip is vertical grip. And for the laser is red laser. It overall feels great, and the gun's still amazing up close. So for this setup, I recommend using it from medium to long range, or medium to close quarters. You probably are going to see the most efficient gunplay with it at those ranges. It will definitely help to use it from those ranges overall. Coming in the #1 spot is probably my new favorite submachine gun that I've been using a lot recently. And you guys might be kind of sad that I'm choosing a gun that probably is weaker than all the other ones, but I just perform so good with this gun. Like I said, it's my personal preference, and I perform so well with this gun from long ranges, medium, and close quarters overall. And I'm just really good with it overall. Don't know why, but I just am. Coming in #1 spot is the MP5K. Now, even though this might be the weakest gun that we've had in a while, it still is so good for me. And I never actually looked at the damage rates on it, but it still works out. I don't know how, but it still works out. From about 50 studs out, it does 30 damage per hit. That's pretty good. You want to use it for close quarters. But it drops down to 17 damage from about, I would say, 60-ish. Maybe about 80-ish. Yeah, 85 studs out, it drops down to 17 damage, which is very low. Very, very, very low. Probably the weakest gun that I've actually put in this list. But I don't really like to pay attention to these stats too much because I feel like some of them are incorrect. And when I play with this in-game, I don't feel that it does 17 damage from that far. I will literally laser people across the map, no problem. It might take a lot of ammo, but I never really had too many ammo issues with this gun. The MP5K it just works. That's all I can tell you. It just works, dude. The ammo capacity is 30, just like any other SMG, like a normal based ammo. You have auto and semi on this gun, no burst fire, nothing like that. It's a very simple gun. You don't need to put sights on it or anything like that. My class setup is very simple. You only have 3 attachments. You have a vertical grip, muzzle brake, and laser. That's all you gotta rock on it, and you'll be fine. I promise. Like I don't know why, but for some reason I perform so well with this gun. I really do. I'm not even joking. Like I have my best games with this gun overall, and I perform the best with it. And it's usually these types of guns that normally aren't used too much. They're used at the start of the game, and they probably are never used again, that I do really well with. It's always those type of guns that I do really good with. You guys give me bad class setups, I might even get more kills with a bad class setup than I would with my normal class setups that I choose for myself. Like, I don't know how I do it. It's just how I am as a player. I guess I'm better under pressure or better with a more challenging setup than I am using something I'm more comfortable with. I don't know why that happens, but it's just how I've been playing lots of games forever. In PUBG, I used to run a shotgun sniper setup, and everybody thought I was crazy, but it worked for me. It really did. So it really goes to show how you can actually use different setups to have it in your control. It doesn't have to be all about damage wise. Any of these guns that I told you might not even help you. You could still use another gun that was at rank 1 and you could do really good with it. Just because the damage on a weapon shows you something doesn't mean that it's going to be insane or that you're going to do very good with it. It's just your play style and how you play. Just like I said at the start of this video, every gun that I give you in this class or in these top 5 is my personal opinion and my own playstyle. I like to use submachine guns from longer ranges, medium, and up close. I'm a very versatile player, but usually people don't use it for mainly long range, and a lot of my gunfights are long range with any gun in the game. Doesn't matter what I'm using, I still try to go long range, and most of the guns that I use are all versatile for all those, all those positions. If I have a gun that's not that good up close, then I'm probably not going to use that assault rifle because it's not good up close, etc., etc. But anything that's an assault rifle in this game that has a decent fire rate can do up close stuff too. It's basically another submachine gun. Might be better than a submachine gun, actually. So hopefully me saying some of that stuff actually helped you guys out, that you don't need an insane gun to do really good. You just need to, know how to control the weapon and just kind of master it in a way. MP5K has been one of my favorite guns for a very long time. I just didn't use it for too long. I stopped using it. I was really good with it at one point, stopped using it, and it's still good until this day. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy the video overall. If you guys want me to do another top 5 best guns in a different gun category, you can do carbines, DMRs, shotguns, etc., etc. You can go ahead and put it in the comments down below. Also, if I did help you in any way or give you a new best class setup, there's a like button down below that you can go ahead and click real quick. Also, if you're new to the channel, you can hit that subscribe button. Also, there's a bell notification next to the sub button that you can go ahead and click and get notified every single time I upload a video. Thank you guys for all the support recently. I really do appreciate it. I love you guys for it, and honestly, I just really had to say thank you because the support recently has been insane. I'm almost gaining 200 subs a day, which is mind-boggling. Like, it really is. I've been gaining 50,000 views a day and also about 200 subs a day, which is absolutely insane. So thank you guys so much for all that support. It really does mean a lot. But I'm going to go. Thank you guys so much for all the support recently. I love you guys. Peace out.